This with God stepping out the
Oh,
clouds.
oh, 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 and we are live, 2.5 Guys podcast with a
Let's go.
special Tuesday episode. I'm your boy Midget,
Your girl Rose.
Your boy Doe Stacks on a big Tuesday.
Big Tuesday.
and we are here with a special guest, star, executive producer of one of the best series I've seen in a while.
Talk that talk.
Hey,
Hey, for the love of Jason, Trell
Yes, sir.
Woodberry, Hemingway's own. How you doing?
Yeah.
hey, thanks. Appreciate y'all for having me. This is dope.
Hey,
This is
man,
real
appreciate
dope.
you coming
Thank
on,
you
bro.
for coming, man.
I know you're
Yes,
a busy
yes.
guy. I see you all across Hollywood, so
Okay.
you take time for us. We appreciate it. So
Definitely got to bring it back home for sure. This is the first thing. This is the first thing I did back at home. I've been saying I wanted to do something, but ain't happening.
Nice.
Yeah.
hey, well, we glad we the first.
That
Hey,
part.
hey.
Catch it while you're scorching hot. So right into this thing, man. Trail, you are a native of Hemingway, South Carolina. Tell us how you got into the acting. How did you get the acting bug?
Well, like I'm sure some of y'all know, I started out in like music and stuff like that, and then I always wanted to act, but and it was just kind of like getting the opportunities. So in college, I took some classes, and it was something I always thought that would happen for me after music. So it wasn't like the forefront. And then like within music, I used to write my own songs and stuff like that. So that pretty much stimulated that whole writing thing. And
Nice.
then after that, like I moved to LA after college
Mhm.
and started doing music, writing, meeting with other writers and stuff like that. But most of my friends were actors. Pretty much, I would say, pretty much all my friends were actors. So I remember going to the what was it? The launch party for Stump the Yard.
Mhm.
And I was with a couple of my friends, and the casting director, Twinkie Bird, she was like, "Well, why haven't I had your resume and headshots on my desk?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm not focused on that or whatever right now." And she was like, "Oh, well, you don't want to limit yourself. You need to get in some classes, send out some headshots, all that good stuff." So after being jaded with music, I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just go full forward with acting and stuff like that. So I went full forward with acting, and I was getting breaks and stuff here and there, but it was just like I remember doing an independent film, and I remember seeing so many things happening wrong behind the camera,
Mhm.
and it was taking my attention from being in front of the camera. So I'm like, so I remember telling the one of the producers, like, that's not right. And he's just like, no, it is. And I'm like, sure it's not. So
Right.
they went back and they went and started like looking at tapes, and he was like, oh, you're right. And they just started asking me questions and stuff like that throughout. So it's just like, And then I have a degree in like comp sci. So like I'm analytical by nature. So if something's off a little bit, I'm gonna catch it.
Right.
So
Right.
it was just kind of like those types of things kind of help in the producing chair. So
Mhm.
and the directing chair. So it's just kind of like, all right. So, going out, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create my own joint. And I saw with people like Lena Waithe, um, like
Yes.
Childish,
Shy.
yeah, like all of them, and I'm seeing them doing their things. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me just go for it. So I started creating some show pitches, ideas, or whatnot, and I was trying to get them out. And then it was just like I felt like when I wasn't going at 100%, things was just thrown at me. But whenever I really tried to do it, it was like it wasn't it wasn't happening. I'm like, dang, when I started going after it, then it's just like it became harder. But just staying persistent and like just hitting, what I'm saying, hitting the pavement, going with it. And then it was just one day, I remember like I wrote this treatment and I was trying to get it to this producer, and and I looked at the trades, and the exact idea got picked up by that same producer.
Are
And
you
I was
Wow.
so at that point, I'm like, you know what? All right. So I was like, God, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, if I'm not supposed to be doing this, let me know. Let me just go
right?
about my regular job, whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing. And then all of a sudden, he just came to me and he was like, look, it's so much you got that you're dealing with in your real life that you
Right.
can use
Mhm.
it as a gift. Don't look at it as like a negative. Use that and make it a positive. So like literally, I got up out of my bed and I wrote the treatment for the love of Jason. At the time, it was called A Man's
Wow.
Perspective, but I wrote the treatment in less than an hour because I had so much that I was dealing with personally.
Mm.
So it was just like stuff I didn't even have to think about. It was just things that I could just go. So I wrote it, the treatment, the pilot episode, and then I started like putting it out there. And then I put together a writing team, and not knowing how the show's gonna get picked up, but I had someone that told me that they could get me a meeting with Netflix. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. And I was like, all right, bet. So I put together this team. We had 10 episodes initially. So we knocked out those episodes. And then, of course, the plug fell through as usual. So I'm sitting there like, dang, I don't got these people writing on this thing. And I don't even have no meeting set up or anything like that. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just help somebody else do their project and get my experience up in the meantime. So I went and helped one of my friends create a project, like producing on her project, because I knew somebody that was interested in funding feature films.
Mm.
So within that, in helping her, I had to take a meeting for her, and that's how I met the president of All Black.
Nice.
And literally, like we connected, and we kept in contact. And then maybe a couple of months later, someone told me, one of my producers actually told me that they were looking for new content. I'm like, oh, I know, dude. So I was like, I'm gonna just shoot him a message.
Right.
So I shot him a message, and I was like, look, I know y'all looking for new content. I have a show I'd love to pitch. So he was like, well, you can definitely come in and pitch. It'll have to be on Monday because our fiscal period closed then. But he was like, it has to meet in a certain parameters. And what happens is, once if we think it's decent, then we send it to the board and they have to vote on it.
Mm.
And they had I think a slated 8 shows for that season. So how it works is, if another show comes in and they think it's better than your show towards the end, you can get bumped.
Out.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
So
was gonna
literally,
ask how that process is. Like, once you get the treatment done,
Mhm.
is it about getting it into the right person's hands, or is there a format for presenting your treatment? Is what I'm trying to say.
So once you get your treatment done, and most likely you want to have, if it's a show, you want to have that pilot episode done too.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then you get it over to the networks, the execs, and then they'll take a look at it. They call you in for a meeting, and then they'll like vote on it to see if it gets greenlit. The way All Black was doing it at the time, though, it was kind of like the survival of the fittest. So that's not normal. That
the best one.
right. And luckily, I came in at the end of that.
Okay.
So
your script was fresh in the brain, so it was
right, and it was just like, and then whenever they heard the title, because it was a man's perspective at first, and then our network is the primary audiences between women from I think 26 to 52.
Mhm.
And the name of the show was A Man's Perspective. So they was like, what? Like they thought it was gonna be something like, right. So they were already going at it sideways, looking into it. But then when they started going over, they was like, wait a minute, like, no, this is actually good. And then so literally I met with them on a Monday, and that was like at the very end of their period. In that Tuesday, they told me that we got greenlit.
Nice.
Yeah, so it happened quick, like real quick. That's what was crazy, because it's just like you hear so many stories of the process and all of this, and all that stuff could be true, but there's no like concrete way of thinking how things happen. So it's just like literally I pitch on a Monday, we were greenlit on a Tuesday, but we didn't go into production because we were slated for the next year.
Mhm.
And then COVID came. So literally our production was my first production. Our production was like literally one of the first productions to go up in COVID. So not only is it my first production under my production company, I got to deal with all the COVID stuff. We don't know about COVID at this time. So
protocols,
so SAG was on us. And the thing is, it's just kind of like, if one thing would have went wrong, it would have fell on me. That's the thing. So it's just kind of like,
that's a lot of pressure.
It was so hard for me to focus the first season, because I was nervous somebody was gonna pop up positive and shut down the whole thing. And then we went through like locations that were starting to have different restrictions, and we wouldn't be able to film certain places that we had locked in. So it got stupid. But besides all of the logistic stuff that was crazy on that side, the production side, like it was dope. Like it just kind of like flowed. You would have thought with all of that, it would have just been crazy. But the first season was I mean, it was like we was going to work playing every day.
You had the right group of people around you. You have the
Yeah.
right.
Hell yeah.
The energy was great. And I think it's because people were stopped up from COVID. Everybody was just happy to be around people again and everything. But then the second season came.
Back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal, egos and everything else. It was tough. This
Damn.
season, tough.
So you were saying that it wasn't like how people think the process was. Could you talk about some of the struggles you had when you first got out there, or
To
were they?
California?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, like a lot of people think like it's overnight, but I've been in LA since 04.
Mm-hmm.
Like like just hitting the pavement. And the thing is, is building relationships is the most important thing you can do, because the relationship can take you further than your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes into, you know, it's full circle, because I know, like, for me, I mean, it was tough. And especially I made a transition from like software engineering over to pretty much the arts full time. So in order for me to be able to go on auditions and all of that stuff, like when I first started, it was kind of simple because I worked at this company that had a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
But then after that, it was just like, I would say probably in 09, we had a layoff. And then I had to like figure out a way to survive and go at this. And a lot of times, like, I couldn't do certain stuff because I had a regular job, because I had to be able, you know, California's expensive.
Exactly.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like a lot of sacrificing and struggles and things that you can't do that normal people can do if you're serious about what you're trying to do. So like, there are a lot of times like I couldn't go to like events, family events, come home, be home around my family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff you have to sacrifice to go with that. So a lot of people don't see that side of, they just think, oh, you go, you having fun, you're doing all this. But no, it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? You got to go to classes, you got to learn the industry, you got to just maintain, not get caught up in the whole, you know, fairy tale of Hollywood or whatever that means. And like, yeah, it was a struggle, you know. So it was just kind of like, it got to the point where it was like,
chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chew you up and spit you out.
Plenty of people like that I've seen, you know, and you got to just be careful on how you treat people, because you never know who's going to be in that situation the next day.
Yeah.
So I feel like being a good person is what really makes you win at the end of the day. Because the thing is, you can have a high up here today, and then tomorrow you down here, and you don't treat so many people wrong, and then you need that person to help you to open that next opportunity for you, and then you done, because you already got a reputation that, you know,
done burn.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot, man. Like, it's just a lot of sacrifice. And it doesn't happen until it happens. So it's just that long, it's a long journey. And it's like, most people say that it usually takes them around 15 years to hold on just a second. You need your laptop. Like 15 years to get it going. And like before they could start seeing stuff. But what I will say is, like, all my friends started hitting at the same time. Like, we all started out like 04. Tabitha Brown, like, she's like a really good friend of mine. We all used to get together at her house.
Amazing voice.
But Trell, I was waiting for you to give a break in so I can tell you I knew you were legit when I saw that Tabitha Brown was on your fucking team. Like, you can't lose without Tabitha Brown.
Amazing
family. She's like, when I moved in 04 to LA, the first Thanksgiving, I met Tab and her husband at a friend's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And they was like, you know, they from North Carolina. So and then I went to A&T. She said, oh, you from the house. So literally we like clicked. And then all of us, like, we took we went to Tasha Smith's acting class.
Damn.
Which is funny because y'all will see this in this season. We pay a little homage to the class. But we all took Tasha's class. It was like me, Tabitha Brown, Brayley Evans.
She's in the show.
Yeah, Brayley's in the show. Eamon Joseph from Snowfall, the one that played Uncle Jerome.
Yes.
Like, so all of, like, and then
wow,
my favorite character.
Yeah, he's dope. Actually, I just hit him up earlier. And then Sadell, she was on Glow. I don't know if y'all seen Glow on Netflix.
Have not.
I've
It's
heard
a
about it.
wrestling show.
I've
But
seen
she
it.
was the only black girl on there, Cherry Pop. But yeah, so all of us, like every Sunday, we were all in class just on the grind. And then Layla, who's in my show too, that played Lacey.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
all of us came from that same circle. Oh, and Marva, Mel, the girl who played Marva, my neighbor on the show.
Yes.
She is and she's
Yeah.
coming back
Hey,
this season.
Marva wanted you, boy.
Listen, wait till you see Marva this season.
Yeah, she's back. Marva's
She's
back.
We had to bring Marva back because, like, literally after the first episode, people were thinking Marva was going to be in the next, and then we just like, oh, they about to be hurt.
It was like that Urkel effect. She
right.
Yeah, they drew to her.
Yeah, and I knew Mel has no boundaries, so I knew she was going to go there. I knew she was going to go there. So literally, when we did the first take, and I was like, Mel, just do what you do, and she was like, I'm gonna surprise you. We couldn't keep the first cut. I put it to you. Like we had this. I was like, even the director was yelling, like, what? Like it was. But yeah, so all of us, like, we kind of like came up together, but everybody just started like hitting one after another. And like, so whenever I got greenlit, I'm like, I'm just calling all my peoples. So
and that's funny because all the people you're naming, you're seeing them in these current shows that's rolling right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing that you grew with these folks. So
yeah, like we've all been through the trenches together, and it's just kind of like literally, and it was like everybody was getting their break. And I remember one day it was just kind of like it was just tough because like when I wrote For the Love of Jason, I was in such a deep depression, it was crazy.
Oh, we're gonna get
yeah, I was in a deep depression. Like so, and it wasn't supposed to be a comedy, it was supposed to be a drama, but it just came out funny, so we just rolled with it. But like it was just like a real dark place. And I remember one day, because like everybody was getting on, I'm like, dang, it just feel like it's happening for everybody else or whatever. And then like pretty much everybody was left. The only person was like me and Tab. So Tab hit me one day on Marco Polo, and she was like, look, God,
wow, me Marco Polo.
Yeah, we still talk on Marco Polo. So he told me, he was like, look, I know everybody seemed like everybody else got on, but whenever I get to y'all, it's going to be in a big way that you're not even going to believe. And literally her video went viral maybe like in 3 to 6 months after that. Wow. And then right after that, like I got the news that my show got greenlit. You know, it was just kind of like right there. And
which video are you talking about? You talking about when she clapped back at Wendy?
No, that's the video. When she was in the Whole Foods, because her initial video was about when she was tasting a sandwich, a TTLA sandwich, and it just went viral overnight. Yeah. So that's how, and then she became like the vegan ambassador and stuff. That kind of like launched her her career. But she literally called me and told me like the message that God had gave her. And you know, and I'm like, and then like amazing. Right afterwards, things just started like rolling. But it's dope. You know what I mean? Everybody is doing their own thing in their own lane, and being able to help each other out was dope. So just having that community was definitely a plus.
Okay. Now you touched on when you wrote For Love of Jason, how much that pulls from some of your real life struggles with dating and dealing with things in the scene.
I'm about to say probably all of it.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like literally, it was some stuff in For the Love of Jason that I just knew I was getting a phone call from, because it was
they know who it was about.
I didn't switch nothing. Like it was the exact same thing. Like there was the date whenever he went with the kid at the restaurant. That was verbatim. I didn't switch from that. And then
no way.
That was real.
So her car really didn't work the day before, and the little boy told the business.
Yo,
yep.
Like Jason was feeling everything I was feeling. Like he needs an ass whooping. Everything he was feeling, I was like,
listen, and you know those inner thoughts. That's
and you know where we from. You get that ass tore up.
Yeah. Like you just don't be talking and not have manners. Like
anything. And like the little boy's like shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave.
He's spitting the bread, like yo,
all of that, and it was eating me alive. And I was just sitting there like, you get me from this table. And then it was like with the knock on the door, whenever the chick was banging on my window. oh, if you didn't want me, blah 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 blah.
Like, I lost my contact. Trell, did you really use that?
I did, and I turned off my phone and threw it. So this is how the writers' room work, right? We just talk about like different experiences that we have. And then we just put it into, we of course we curated for the story. So like certain things, we added just to make the story flow.
Right.
But like, yeah, a lot of those things were like personal, a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, question. Therapy. Have you ever been in therapy session or thought about it, or was that just added in for Tab?
Oh, no. No, I was in therapy when I wrote the show. I still go to therapy. I'm an avid believer in therapy.
Okay.
And that was important for me to have that, to normalize therapy in the show. Like it's so many people that need therapy and they don't know it, like, and they think something has to be like wrong before you go to therapy.
Tragic.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like a lot of things. Yeah, we carrying a lot of stuff from like childhood trauma, like just a lot of things that we don't even know that we're carrying, because we're just pretty much adults carrying out childhood traumas in our everyday life.
Part.
So,
now, do you touch on at all your mother's character, or in this season coming up, her talking bad about therapy? Because I know Susie be like, "You ain't nothing wrong with you. You don't need nothing." Like them Hemingway mamas. Boy, go drink, go drink some Pepto-Bismol and lay the fuck down.
Right.
Ginger ale. That's all you need.
And it's funny because that was a choice, but I chose to like make it just like a regular thing, so people don't even give it the like the energy of being something negative. Like if you just see somebody doing something every day, you say, oh, it's normal. You know what I mean? So then you see Jason, like, and you see some more people going therapy to see besides Jason. But the thing is, like, the first therapy session I had, funny enough, I was in a class and they needed me. I remember like I had the book this play and they needed me to cry in this play. And I just was emotionally not there. Like I can tell you I didn't even know I was capable of crying for years, but didn't know that anything was wrong. Right. And I remember being in class one day and I remember Tasha was just like, everything is just okay with you. Everything is just good. And I'm like, I mean, what you want me to be? You know what I'm saying? So then one day we did this exercise in class, and the exercise is how do I feel? So you just got to really come off the dome. How do I feel? But you never stop. So the thing is, it was just like, so the more you try to run away from the questions, she would push and ask you to go deeper to why you answered it that way. And when you really have to be forced to answer why you're answering something this way, then you get to the root of the bottom. So then all of a sudden I just felt uncomfortable. I was like, oh, like what's going on? And I guess it was transparent on the stage. And she was like, don't you let go, don't you let go. And I'm like trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So like my first session it was more of a life coach session. My first life coach session was with Tabitha. So it was a full circle moment for us to do it in the show. Because that was, and then it was just kind of like, so it's just like when we did it again, it's like, dang, look where we at now. But like, but ever since then, I've always been like going to therapy, and especially during COVID, it was. I know
a lot of people who couldn't deal with the isolation.
Yeah, and it was just the not knowing, because I mean, I was able to get a lot of work done during quarantine, but like it was just, I need family at home and things like that, and you just start looking at life differently, So
absolutely.
At that point, I was just like, all right, you know what? It's time for me to like really, make some changes. But I had a lot of stuff happening for me at that time, so I had a lot to keep me occupied. But I just needed to go through a lot of stuff with therapy. But I think everybody should go to therapy, to be honest with you.
Like my friends quarantine and some therapy.
Yeah. It's cool because after the first, once you get all of the craziness out of the way and get comfortable in therapy, it's actually become like one of the best moments of my week because it's just like I know I get to release.
Look forward to it.
Look forward to it. Yep.
I heard Charlamagne said that.
Yeah, because you be thinking it's negative, and then it's just like, nah, this is actually for me.
I got you. So, question. Jason, love to drink. Was that something that was a part of some of what you were going through?
Yeah. So the other part about it is like, because in California, everyone
Party.
drinks. Like that's just the norm. It's like you go out, you socialize, you drink. And I don't think people realize how much they rely on the drink.
Right.
And so it was important to keep that true to, to value, because I was just like, no, this is what happens, because you're dealing with so much. And then what I, was trying to do a little bit more this season was kind of like show just a little bit more of the nature of LA. Because a lot of people, Keisha, a lot of people, they just don't, you hear the stories and you don't really believe it, but it's just kind of like to really be able to pull from that part. And Jason was so close to what my life was. I wanted to show all facets of it. And then like it was a point where it would be certain things like it's just a different lifestyle. I remember watching Insecure and seeing Jay Ellis. They gave Jay Ellis an episode when he went down to the he went to the store and met some girls, and they went back to the house and they was just doing coke and like with some white girls and stuff like that. And that's just a typical day in LA on what people deal with. And then most people in LA are single. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody on my cast right now is single. And that's not normal. And that's not normal. All four of my leads, like all four. And it's just kind of like they just kind of like, what? But then you
got a lot of stories that you can put into.
I got a lot of ammo.
Yeah. So is there more episodes in season 2? More than 6?
Nah, we got 6 again.
I'm gonna need them to give us 10.
Hey,
or y'all need to have them longer.
They're all black and putting their comments on their IG. They listen to that.
Come on, all black.
Yeah,
don't do your boy like that.
Yeah, so we got 6. They're a little bit longer this time.
Good.
But there's 6. But the episodes are definitely heavier this season. Okay. Like we going for the juggler this time. Like so, yeah.
Is it still pulling from more of your and the other cast members' experiences throughout Hollywood or LA?
Yeah. It's so much loaded in this show, man.
Yeah, you might need to write a book.
I love it.
Do it right now, but later on, I'm gonna do a show on the show. And it's better than the show. I put it to you like that. But yeah, like we have a lot to pull from in this show this season. And
hey, Kira,
I'm gonna leave it there. It was
it's funny that you mentioned Insecure, because while I'm watching it, I'm like, this is like the male version of Insecure. Right. And I don't know if that's where you were pulling it from. Yeah. But when I tell you the writing is spectacular, because you have the comedy, you have, like the yeah, and what I really love is you have a marriage therapist that's a motherfucking dog. Okay, it's the concept. Okay, it's like Breaking Bad. The fucking chemistry teacher now sells dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, so, and that's true to life, though. That's how it be.
Right.
But he don't want her. He don't want her to leave him, but he wants to string her along and be engaged for forever. Like
right.
But you're a marriage therapist. Like the way she busts up in during his session, and old girl was like, he need to get his own shit together. How he gonna holler at us? And I was like, sister, tell it.
I'm not going to ask you. I'm not even going to ask you if you had a friend like that who was going to speed dating with you. I'm not even going to ask that. So.
It was for research, Midgie. It was research purposes.
I'm sorry.
And see, this is the thing. I always got caught up in so many random situations in my LA days. It was just like, how did I get here? And I start telling the stories, and people think I'm lying, or they think I'm just like, they'd be like, oh, well, the most random person ever. So I'm like, I'm gonna just use it. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, look,
somebody has experienced this before. Somebody can relate to that.
Yes, like that's the
LA, Miami, New York, all these big cities. Somebody has went.
That's why I couldn't move to Atlanta. I couldn't go. I went on a date. Trell, you think I'm lying? You can use this in your show. I went on a date in Atlanta with a girl, and the table across from us was 2 girls and their mama. They were celebrating somebody passing something. And while my date is licking on me and kissing on me, they at the other table trying to join in, asking if we mind if they watch or who house we going to. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the mamas?
Mama there?
But mamas, daughters, table behind us, and they trying to figure out what hotel we going to because it looked like it about to be a good time.
They was
and I
always
was like, I can't move here. Old girl was like, check, please. And I was like, yeah, I
Let me
can't.
tell you, yeah, Atlanta's a different beast. Actually, BJ, who plays Brian on the show,
Yeah,
he was just out here filming another movie.
okay.
And he gave me so much content, it was just ridiculous.
A
Like,
couple other seasons, couple more
yeah,
seasons.
like
Absolutely.
literally almost a whole nother show just to
Mhm.
spin off on his experience for being here 1 month.
But
You know,
I think people can learn from this show also about
Absolutely.
because it's like dating in your 30s. A lot of people don't consider that, when you grow up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be, women think, oh, I'm gonna be married by the time I'm 20
Yeah.
something,
Mm-hmm.
have the kids and blah blah. And then you get to your 30s and you like, I remember it's a part in the episode where he asked, he was like, she got a kid? And you were like, that's a part of dating in your 30s. Like,
Absolutely.
you date somebody with a child. So
and you
They
going
might have a
9 times out of
grandchild.
10.
Shit.
Right. Right. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're gonna deal with. And then like, yeah, I got so much material that it's just kind of like I can even spill it over into another project.
wow.
Hey man,
We hope they see this and they
know how to take it and format it into
Right.
visual, man. Take every experience in life that you come across and use it as ammo, man.
And
Yes.
that's what people connect with,
Absolutely.
Like, that's the story that like, and every now and then you have to go through reminders sometimes, because sometimes as writers we get in our head and we just start just doing too much when it's just like just use what's there. I
Mhm.
did a interview with Mona Scott last week, and in the interview, she was asking me about like my personal life and stuff like that, and then it was a conversation, and she was just like, "That's what I want to see in the show." You know what I'm saying? Like when and I'm like, you know what? I could go back in a little bit like deeper
Right.
with certain things and certain topics. So like it was just interesting enough. It just kind of made my mind start going to certain conversations I would like to add for season 3 if we get another one.
Oh, we are gonna get it.
Oh, we getting another one. Ain't no if.
Oh, listen, this word of mouth Hemingway circle gonna make that happen.
Yes,
Hey, let's do it. Yeah, because this
It's everywhere.
Tell Mona Scott, don't she try to bring you on no Love and Hip Hop.
We ain't doing Love and Hip Hop.
we actually working. We're gonna work on something.
Hey,
together.
bro, I don't know what they're talking about. Do it.
No. Look, I'll bring Mona to Hemingway. We'll do a Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, she gotta have content.
Ooh.
It's too much ammo on Hemingway, bro.
Don't do Mona like that. Don't do Mona like that, dog.
Get the ratings.
Need that.
You think Marvel was a trip? Tell her come to him.
Listen. Exactly.
Ready for that. So, what were some of your earlier works in when you first started acting, and how did you progress in getting better, sharpening your skill?
The earlier I did some shows movies.
Well, before we start, I want to say somewhere in this house, upstairs, downstairs, I don't know, I have the Trail CD.
The music video.
Number 2, when I first moved here, I remember I watched the movie with you and what's Mike Tyson X?
Right. So that movie, real life story. Friday night, I went to the bar, like drinking, me and some friends, and the girl who played the lead, Tierra. She was there. She was like, "Oh, they're looking for a guy for this film," and I'm like, "Okay." She was like, "Can you come and read real quick?" I already been drinking everything. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so there's like, "Can you meet at this hotel and do the reading?" They're doing readings at the hotel, and I was like, "All right." So we went over there real quick, and I'm like, I just read the lines, and they was like, "All right, cool." They called me back later on that night, and they was like, "All right, you booked the role." Well, I didn't know that it was the lead role, 1. And then 2, I didn't know that we were shooting on Monday. So here I'm with a 110-page script that I just auditioned for on Friday night.
In
That
48 hours, you got to memorize this?
that we're filming on Monday morning. I'm like, there's no way possible. They was like, we'll get through it. And I'm like, I know this is about to be a disaster. And it was. It was like literally my first out of the gate. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Hold on, but
But
did
you
you
know-
have a drink before you do it? Because if you
The
read
show-
while you were drunk, yeah.
well, it didn't even matter because it was just like, yo,
it was a
it was
disaster.
like, I ain't gonna
But you know, I will say this.
but it was not, we shouldn't have shot. We shouldn't have shot it. We weren't
But I
ready.
will say this. Me, as an outside person, it was just exciting seeing somebody I knew
Right.
playing a movie.
Dope.
So
Yeah.
I didn't really pay attention to, like, you know, nowadays everybody critique every
Right,
skill,
right.
every athlete. So back then it was just like, oh, Trell's in a movie. Cool. And I'm telling people, oh, he's in this movie. Blah, blah,
Yeah, it
blah.
was.
That was it. Like, I really wasn't like, oh man, the acting was bad. But you know,
Oh,
if
it
you go
was
back
just-
and look at it, you can go and see like, oh yeah, Trell was drunk.
Listen, well, it wasn't. I wasn't even drunk in the
I
show.
know.
It was just kind of the product. Like I said, I ain't gonna shit on the production, but for me, it was like, okay, I gotta go do something of quality because it's the worst thing whenever you leave it in somebody else's hands and you don't know what it's about to look like when it comes on
Right.
the cutting board. So like that's another reason why it was so important for me to get behind the scenes and
I
like
was just about to ask
start
you.
yeah, like because that stuff was driving me crazy. And it's just like, in my opinion, rookie mistakes. Like certain things happen and you can't control it, but then there's certain things, if you don't have a level of care,
Mhm.
then you shouldn't be doing it, you know.
Like
So
everyone's not deserving of their title. Just because you're the producer does not mean that you're worthy of that title.
right.
You know?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you know, that might be something you can tap into, like teaching people the behind the scenes, how to run the behind the scenes, because it's a lot of etiquette. People think, oh, I can get an iPhone and make a movie. No,
Right.
you can't. Like, I
Right.
know it's that simple, but it's more when you want quality and you want
You can get some B-roll stuff on
Yeah.
your iPhone, but that's about
Right.
like, you know, I got my
You just
iMac.
gotta have like a vision and an eye. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that everything has to be like in a certain way, but certain people just don't care.
Yeah.
Like they just literally
Right.
in it for the money. So they just like, look, we gonna knock this out, give us this, and then like, and then be out. So like the thing, and that's another thing, like just the sacrifice, and like for me with the show, it was like, no, I'm not gonna say that, but you can look at some other programs and you can
Mhm.
tell, okay, it looked like the budgets are different, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
our platform,
Ooh, I was about to say something though. I
yeah,
was about to say something though. I held it together.
yeah, you can. So like the thing is, it's just like it's like it depends on what your end goal is. Like for me, it was like, okay, if I just wanted to do a money grab, I could have gone and put out some horrible quality stuff and kept
Yeah.
the money and kept it pushing. But at the end of the day, it was like, okay, this is my resume for me to move forward. So it was just kind of like making sure leaving all the money on the screen.
Because it
And
can lead to bigger things.
yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Like, like definitely grateful for All Black for the opportunity. The budgets that All Black is not what you would typically get for a show. You know what I'm saying? So like you see something like say for instance, like an Insecure or something like that. Like our budget is like one of their episodes costs more than our entire season, probably double or 3 times.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So it really like takes going in. For me, it was just studying people, finding people that's dope, that's coming up, that's able to like kind of get me to look in everything that I want.
Mhm.
So, and then also calling on those favors. That's why I say relationships are so important.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it's just how you make what you got work. You know what I'm saying? So that was just an important thing for me to make sure make sure my quality level keeps going up. Because like I said, this season you'll see
Absolutely.
once you get into the scenes, it's a lot more cinematic than it was.
Stepping up.
Mhm.
Is there a dream role for Trell Woodberry?
Hands down, Marvin Gaye.
Woo!
I would shut down my entire life. Like I would go. I would do
I
some
can
Heath
see
Ledger type
it.
stuff to be Marvin Gaye. Trust and believe. I would go in a room for like
Dark place.
7 to 8
Right.
months.
Ooh,
It would be a whole
Marvin's
new
Room?
person.
Wow.
damn.
And I've
Anybody
heard
that-
people talk about that, them possibly working on that, but you know, Marvin's family is very tight.
Very,
Mhm.
very.
So
Is
protect
there
legacy.
is there anybody that you would love to work with in Hollywood? Like that one dream team up.
Issa.
Who would I like to work with in Hollywood? It's funny that you say that because I'm working on a project right now, and they literally asked me like, what's your wish list? And I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, like it was kind of tough. There's a lot of people that I mean, of course, you know, like your bigs, like your Denzel, your I think Lynn Whitfield is dope.
Yeah.
Real dope.
Angela Bassett. If you
And-
ever meet that queen, please. Oh my God. Angela and her husband. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they
I'm
both are
fangirling.
yeah,
I'm
she's
fangirling.
really, really cool too. I've met
Yeah.
her a couple of times.
They're both
Yeah.
great actors. They are
Yeah.
both great. I
Dog,
love
ask her she wants some Perlo. Like I'll get my mama to make her some Perlo.
Hey, we offer everybody Scott's barbecue and Perlo around here.
Yeah, listen. But it's funny enough, you
Bruh.
know, a lot of the productions and stuff are in Atlanta now. So
Right. Tyler
a lot
Perry.
of like the movies and stuff like that, which is funny because like that's the perfect place to go down there to set up like catering, craft services, and
Yeah.
all of that
Wow.
stuff. Because
Shout out Dope Dishes Catering.
yeah, because like literally, like you know, especially coming in like from a perspective of like, all right, if your rates and stuff are lower, it'll get you in those positions because a lot of people
Right.
overcharge anyway because everybody in Atlanta think they just
course.
like way better than they are. So like, you know what I mean? You get posts, you like really?
It's that
Because like
envy.
me trying to shoot For the Love of Jason in ATL this season, I started like getting like quotes and stuff from people, and it just wasn't matching up. And I'm like, I just because I know what you can get in LA. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's just like, nah, I'll fly somebody out to do this. And at least I know the job is gonna be done right too.
Right.
Did you hit up the old lady gang, Candy and them people?
For what?
Touche.
No,
So what?
for food?
Yeah, you know her mama and aunts got the OLG, old lady gang catering. I mean the restaurant.
Have you tasted their food before?
No, that's why I just said touche because I haven't heard good. I don't want no smoke.
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, listen, you got to remember that man from Hemingway. He know good food.
Right.
That part.
Yeah. Now there's some dope spots in Atlanta though. Like it is a lot of good restaurants in Atlanta, but that ain't gonna be one that I would.
Anybody who said they can beat Destiny Child in a versus, I don't approve.
Who said that?
She's killing the game, but that restaurant ain't it. She know it ain't it. That's why they got that reality.
And he said they would beat Destiny Child in the versus. You ain't seen that?
Who said that? In my Portia Williams voice. I know she didn't.
Yeah, she did. But hey,
Yeah. With a straight face too, like
Escape.
Oh, she was serious.
yeah.
And you know, I was an Escape fan until Tiny and pulled that bullshit with my ticket in Colombia.
Like Rose be arguing with these people and whatnot.
She did.
I ain't got time.
Rose had a beef with Tiny for a little bit.
Okay. And she tried to come for me, and I came right on back. I'm from D Block, baby. I don't give a fuck. But basically, like they had a concert in Colombia, and it was on a Friday night, so I had to get off work, get my kids situated. Me and my wife drive to Colombia, only to pull up to the door, and they had thing up saying that they had to quarantine because of COVID. But y'all ain't sent out no message ahead of time. Y'all ain't let nobody know. They were the headliners.
Well, where were they at though?
When you saw where they were at.
Oh, I went on TikTok and Twitter and shit, and Candy was at her son's party.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiny probably, I don't know.
Like at least you can like just not
post for 24 hours.
Right.
I said you ain't even got the fucking decency to just get off. Like Tasha and Tamika stayed the fuck off. But the Scott sisters was cool. Them other two, I guess they like, look, I got money. I don't give a fuck about South Carolina people. Fuck y'all. And I had a problem. I had a problem with that. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't ever get like that, Trell. Which I know you. We know you. You'll never be like that. But yeah.
No, that's a whole.
So what is Trell watching in his? I know you're a busy guy. What is Trell watching in his free time? Whenever
that's what I do now. I watch TV. That's like literally. That's probably what I do the most of.
So what is your favorite? So what
I've been watching like Ozark. I've been watching
The GOAT. Ozark is the GOAT.
Like,
give us your top 3 series, Trell, off the dome.
Series or sitcoms?
Series.
Of all time.
Of all times. Game of Thrones, even though I didn't like the ending.
Hey, we all say that, baby.
Like you got that agreement across the table.
Yeah, you got that. That's consensus.
Game of Thrones, hands down. Because on that level, you know what series I thought was real dope? Soul Food.
I never.
Or on the black romantic side of things like that. I feel like they didn't get as much recognition as they should have.
Okay.
But I can go all day, like on because I got so many money heists. I'm really into this whole era of the Spanish shows on Netflix that's dubbed. Like I just think it's dope. Like all of like the same guy, he created another show called White Lines. I just feel like they go on the edge. Mm-hmm. They're not safe on anything. And like
you said White Lines?
Yeah, I think White Lines. Okay. Yeah, it's the same guy who did Money Heist. But it's just the way they tell their stories and stuff like that. And then Sanaa Lathan just did one earlier, like this year. But it's just I feel like that's where television is going. So that's what I watch because my next projects, they're gonna be totally different. They're not gonna be like the romantic comedy thing was like just easy way to step in to get in the door. Mm-hmm. But like
doors open.
Yeah, so now I'm like going towards the different direction, having stories with more of an impact. So it's just kind of like, but yeah, back to what did I give 3? I was like, Money Heist.
You said
Money Heist.
Oh, Breaking Bad though. Breaking Bad.
We got somebody who ain't never seen Breaking Bad.
I'm on season 2. All right.
Oh yeah, and they got off Better Call Saul now.
I gotta watch that, but hey, we also had somebody that just finally finished The Wire, so I don't know how to point fingers.
I watched the Trail. In '99 when we graduated.
Don't do it.
When you went to college, did A&T have HBO?
No.
My point is that the state had HBO, Coastal had HBO. So we didn't have we didn't have streaming services back then. So by the time I got of age,
and we couldn't even really get online to watch shows the way that we could now.
Right. So when I got of age, I was so far behind I was so into other shows and so far behind. I was like, I'll catch The Wire when I catch it. So
but it's good when you can just go back and binge it because that's how I watch. I watched Breaking Bad during COVID.
Really?
You just watching Breaking Bad?
Yep.
I went back and watched the last season like 2 weeks ago. Now I got to go to Better Call Saul.
Yeah, Better Call Saul is funny. And then I watched this Cream show. I just watched it. I watched that in COVID too. All American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched that in COVID. I watched a lot of stuff in COVID. I just binged.
Your co-host is in All American.
Yeah.
One of your co-stars in All American. So.
Preach.
Yeah,
I love to see the dynamic because he's completely like night and day from. I love it.
Yeah, he's totally different. It's so funny because I was like, dude, when they see this side of him, because he's funny. He's really funny in real life.
You would never know that.
And we brought more of that out this season. Good. We brought a lot more of his comedic side. Even though it's a lot of heavy stuff, we still brought it,
So it's more on the heavier side.
Somebody on drugs?
No, not that heavy. Not that heavy.
Okay.
So like what I try to do is like, I don't want to trash like the black man image to that. Like, I want to be seen as like, because we always labeled as like killers, murders, whatever. I just want to show like how you know, when you have your white shows, it's nothing for them to be normal and just have like normal little things going on. Like that was
Right.
kind of like my focus with this. Of course, getting heavier in the relationship stuff and then dealing with the stuff that you're typically dealing with in your 30s in relationships.
Mhm.
And this time we went in on the married couple for people like to really see like, okay, just because you married, it don't mean that everything
Not a
is all
thing.
gravy. You know what I mean? No matter what stage of it, you're gonna have issues. So we got Jason, who's single technically,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Brian, who think he's single, and then you got Eric,
Who's
who,
married.
you know, and we switched it up this season. Like, so you get to see
That's a whole
things that's
dynamic of things.
But
yeah,
now that I think of it, I don't think there's a show out there that touch on single men dating. And usually it's like the show Harlem or all these
right.
shows with four
Right.
women single
Mhm.
in the city and they looking for love or looking
Yeah, and they
Right.
never take into consideration on things that men deal with from their
Right.
side. And it's
I
funny,
love it.
we were in the writer's room and like two of my producers that's in the writer's room, Deshaun and Sade, two females, they were just kind of like, you know, I've never looked at it from this perspective before. I never thought about that. And then, you know, even one of them was like, shit, I need to go talk to some of my exes because I probably was projecting
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
stereotypes that, and it's not really the case.
Mhm.
So like we just sit in the writer's room and we just discuss things and just kind of like, you know, and it's just like,
go from there.
you know, and it's a lot of things that's uncovered, but you definitely get to see a lot of the things that we deal with this season. And then also because, you know, like this climate, nothing is the same as it was back in the day with dating.
Mhm.
Right.
Approach it from the same perspective as say for instance our parents did or something like that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now you got to look at it for what it is, and you got to make choices based on what today is. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
it wasn't, we didn't have all of these options and things
Snapchat.
right back in the day. So now, you know, what happens when somebody, they truthfully just don't want to be in a monogamous relationship? Or like, you know, like it's everybody's not from the same, and everybody ain't meant to be married either.
Absolutely.
So like it's just showing that, and
Absolutely.
just kind of like, you know, you going through those things and you like, all
My
right.
boy.
This pretty much described me. I don't feel like monogamy for me.
We're
And I
gonna start a reality show for the love of dough.
For the love of dough. And we're gonna
in the
pick
Myrtle
out the
Beach.
women.
All right, this is the second time y'all done brought that
We're
up.
gonna
Now,
pick
So
out the
hold on,
women.
you said you don't believe that.
man, I'm just not built for the marriage life. I like to go and come as I please.
You can do that.
Now, when you married, that's a
Yes,
lie.
you can.
Long as
Listen, you have to find somebody who is
Right.
comfortable with you coming and going.
Right.
There's somebody like you.
It's the compatibility of it. Because I
Right.
feel like a lot of people who don't want to be married or stuff, it's just that they don't believe that there's someone that's compatible for them.
Look, I had a friend that her whole thing was sleeping with married men because she's like, look, I don't want you to be in my face all day long. I want you to come hit it and take your ass back home to your wife. You just got to find somebody compatible, like they said.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just need therapy too.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like a lot of that is kind of like a mechanism for dealing with something that they're not dealing with underneath. There's something that happened to them that made
Yep.
them kind of like go in that direction. And that's what I'm always curious about. People like that, I love to just talk to them and ask them the why, to see why
Yep.
they feel a certain way. There's a show
trust
called The
people, man.
Therapist. I think it's on Showtime or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they follow these real life couples, and the therapist you just see just sitting there
Wow.
talking to these people, and you just reveal like
Fear
how
of rejection.
yeah,
Yep,
that's
Loretta.
true. Yeah, it's a lot of things, and it's just getting to the bottom of it. And a lot of times we don't even know that we have that stuff going on.
That part.
And the worst part is to get in a situation without figuring yourself out.
Right.
One of my coworkers that in the army that I work with, like every week she tells me a story about going with a new guy. She goes on dates multiple times a week. And if one thing is off, like teeth, he ain't brushed his teeth that day. Bye. I'm like, damn, you can't just tell him to get some Colgate, like it's automatically gone. Like she like, I don't have time to play. They had one time to slip up and I gotta cut them. And I said, That's just a protection mechanism. I said,
Yeah.
you got to get them before they get you.
Right,
And,
right. That's
and then
exactly
she was just like,
what I was about to say.
hold on, bitch, did you just psychoanalyze me? I said, your daddy wasn't in your life, was it? She like, no, bitch, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And she
it's
pulled up
usually
a
like, that's
chair.
what I'm saying. It's that
Yeah.
type of stuff that people don't realize they need to go to therapy for. You know,
She
because
said,
like then you just start really like, oh, well, maybe I do
unpacking
move
it.
this way because of
I
that.
know I need therapy.
Unpack it.
I'm telling you.
Therapy was the best thing that happened to me.
So here's my question to you, Trell. Is it really that hard dating in LA?
Yes. Yes.
I believe it.
It is hard in LA. Because see, the thing is, in LA, everybody is like on their grind. Nobody wants anybody to hold them down. They feel like if you attach, then it gives you a different type of stigma. You know what I mean? Like in certain facets, because the way the world is true. Like, so if you're trying to be like this eligible bachelor, desirable or whatever, they don't want to see you on there with your girl on things, because then they're gonna be like, oh, let me go ahead and stop, following, or because they want the fantasy. And then in LA, people get so caught up in the fantasy, they forget who they really are.
It's the image.
Yeah, and then they get lost and confused.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah, and then it's an expensive place where people, struggling to live, so nobody wants to have kids. It's different. It's different. Right. At least the Hollywood side of LA, I should say.
Okay.
Like, but
if you don't mind, I just want to give you your flowers, brother, because I'm like, just even you breaking down this tidbit, you don't know who's watching this or who has a dream from Hemingway, and to just see somebody make it. You understand what I'm saying? And to me, I remember being in high school. Y'all remember the show 30 something? It was like these old wrinkly ass white people. And I was like, damn, boys, it must be rough to be 30. And now, bitch, I'm heading to 40. And I'm like, are we really in that category now? Are we the 30 somethings?
We look a lot better. We're in a lot better shape.
Yeah.
Because 30 something was the initial name I had for the show. It was 30 something. Then it went to Man's Perspective, and Network changed it to For the Love of Jason.
Okay.
Well, I love that, and I just want to say, like, all of the topics that you hitting, you can tell that we grew up in the same era, and I think that's why I fucking love the show to death, because you're talking about Black stuff, you're talking about gay stuff, you hitting on interracial, you're hitting on what's it called, with the daddy trying to learn Spanish, Puerto Rican, and
he's trying.
But he's trying,
right.
And it took him explaining to his wife, like, look at it, my father, old ass Black man who probably ain't never done nothing outside of just being Black, is over there watching telenovela, okay, because he got some grandchildren from it. So it's just the writing is immaculate, and I love it. You need anything you need from the gay side with the mama and the gay daughter, okay? So I saw Me and Susie the whole way through, okay, whole way through. So you touching everything.
It's definitely it's gonna get even more interesting this season, because like I'm just waiting to see some of the feedback,
the reactions,
because I just know some of the triggers from the viewers from season 1, like certain things I was just really surprised that people really.
What were they triggered about?
Well, it's just one thing. They were like, oh, why is the only married one not married to a non-Black woman? It's the little things like,
you know that had to come up.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. So as we see certain stuff like develop, because they just get in the beginning of the story, they don't know where it's going. But in season 2, it's going to be interesting to see like the feedback. So like at the screening that we have on tomorrow, we're showing 2 episodes, and I'm just to hear the live reaction.
Congratulations!
Some of the stuff.
Yes,
I know this is a very exciting time for you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
I appreciate it. Yes, it's busy, but it's good. And a lot of stuff I'm trying to like head back. Well, because I relocated to Atlanta now since last year. And like I'm trying to like do more projects in. Right now, all of my connections and everything is in LA. So it's just easier for me to keep it going. But I'm working on projects and stuff like back home. And I have like an idea. I don't know if it's going to be able to happen, but it's going to take place in the South, like a feature film though that I have
nice.
Thank you, us. Please.
You said what?
I said anything you need from us, let us know.
I will, like, because I
pull-up skills are impeccable.
Listen, because it's something I want to film in the South. I just have to figure out all of the logistics from it, and making sure that it can happen. Yeah, like.
No, you say South. Are you talking Hemingway South or just like?
Hemingway probably would be hard, just for the simple fact we would need the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, you know, we had to put them up in hotel lodging and stuff.
Coachman,
like
baby.
Don't do that. Don't look at Trell face. Look at Trell.
SAG would call. They would call those people on me so quick. It's not happening.
You don't ever work with that guy again.
No, just take them an hour away. There's a beachfront property that they would.
Well, see, that's the thing, because it's just like, you know, transporting back and forth, like every day, and then having like the adequate like places for people to
Pawleys Island, Litchfield.
Yeah, but you know, they're always working around. So I'm like figuring it out now, just on where it's going to be, because and if even just shooting some of the stuff, but it's going to be like a more personal project for me.
Okay.
So it's going to reflect home in a way that I need it to.
Scabies, you say?
Yeah.
Well, don't do Coachman in like that, y'all.
It held up a many of people in that time. With a Chinese restaurant right in front of it, it's been all type of things in front of the kitchen, baby.
I don't know what it is now.
I have no earthly idea what it is now. So anything coming up that you can speak upon, or everything is still under wraps till you break it out?
Yeah, like, I guess we just getting through this season. Like I said, I got a feature film that in the beginning stages of. Hopefully, if all goes well, like, we're gonna knock on wood, but we'll get a season 3. That turnaround usually has to happen quicker. It took us so long because of the conversion last time to come back from the first season. So whenever we merged with we had to wait a little longer just so we could get the right budget. So that's kind of like what took us so long this time. But the next one, if everything goes well, it'll be probably right back to work. So in this middle time, I gotta knock out a whole feature. I'm pitching a couple other shows as we speak. So like just
different networks or the same network?
No, different new networks. So like the doors have like opened a lot. So I've been getting a lot of like interest as far as what do I have next? What are you trying to do? And it's funny because like I just, sometimes we be in our own head limiting ourselves, and it's just like I'll meet you out and they'll be like, "Yo, it was good. Like, I'm trying to get on next season." I'm like, "What?" Like, or they'd be like, "Why didn't you hit me?" And I'm like, "I didn't even think you would do a show of my caliber." You know what I mean? But they're just never know. Like, even like Jack A being my mom,
right?
Wow.
Like Jack A's so dope. Like,
somebody we grew up watching.
Okay, I love her.
Me, like, I'm like, I remember the first day on set, and when I met her, and I'm like, "Yo," and it was like, "Yo, Jackie Harry is really here." And she's so cool. Like, when I tell you, she was the nicest person on set. And it was funny because Melissa Wilson sent me a message. She was like, "Trell, you really got Jackie in there cooking crab."
Dog.
You.
And can I say I was mad as
like that. It just clicked, and I was like, she's like, "That's Sandra Clark you got in there cooking crab legs."
Cooking crab legs.
Yo, I was like, yeah, but
when I saw you hug the sister and you kept your crab fingers off of her, and then you put your crab fingers around Jackie, ain't no way he touched Jackie with them damn hands, man.
Yo,
I was mad.
She's so cool. Like, literally, like, she'll send me like a random text message, and I just be like, "Yo," and I know y'all follow her Twitter and see how the Twitter is. It's like that in full throttle. Like, I just like, yo, this lady is hilarious. But
because
great to work with. Like, she was
said something about it, and she was like, "Yeah, this pussy still works."
Hey, listen, that she goes in, like, she goes in, and you be sitting there like, what? But what's crazy is like Jack A, like, she's the first Black woman to win an Emmy for a comedy like ever.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
For
so like
227?
mhm.
Wow.
She
I
was the
didn't know
first
that.
woman to win an Emmy. Like, that's huge, you know?
That is
So
huge.
like it was just crazy to me that like how she would come on set and she'd be like, anything you need, I got you. What do you need? Like, no pushback, no nothing. And then you get somebody who just should be happy to be there, and they got like all the demands, and I'm like,
Wow.
but
Bruh.
it goes to show to why Jackie is who she is,
Right.
and why they still trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to break
So,
through.
yeah, it's just things that you see behind the scenes that lets you know, like, even though they can be fun and whatever, they're always professional. They're always respectful to who's in charge.
Right.
And you know, like for me, it was just like I need to do anything that she needs, and she was feeling the same way about me. So, like, that was just dope. That was real dope.
Okay. So, any surprise guests? I know last season you had April Jones on there.
Yeah. April was actually. I just ran into April. She's out here filming the show. Well, I'm like I'm in Atlanta, but she's in Atlanta filming. I think Tyler Perry's show. But we this season we have y'all know Jasmine Love. She's from Florence.
Yeah.
So we got her this season. I thought that was dope, being that she was from Florence and whatnot. I was just like, okay.
A lot of good actors and actresses are coming.
Fine self.
Good.
Let me go look her up. Hold on then.
Well, Jasmine,
she did all
just
of it.
married, didn't she, or something?
Yeah, she just got married.
Right.
Yeah, she just got married. So everybody else is coming back. We added let's see who else. Who do we have? I gotta sit and think, like, who do we have on this season? You guys may know Ninja DeVoe. She was from Queen Sugar. She's on this season.
Okay.
What was her character on Queen Sugar?
She played the waitress, I think. I didn't watch Queen Sugar all like that, but she played the waitress, I think, that was flirting with what's the aunt name who at the diner or something. I didn't watch Queen Sugar like that, but I know she worked at the wait. She was a waitress on there.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to. Yeah, we got a couple of so the guy from Norman Towns, he's from what is it? He played Insecure as well. He was the Games People play. A couple people, you'll know them when you see their face. Okay. But yeah. But all the original casts came back. Okay. And next season, I've already started working on a shake-up. So right now I'm talking to somebody who's a big name for the show. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed with that, but pretty much open so long as everything goes well.
It's gonna work out for you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. The bartender, is that Lacey?
Yeah. What you thinking,
bro?
Trina watching.
Don't get in trouble.
I'm married, okay, but it's something about her. I get like low down, dirty shame Jada Pinkett steves from her.
She gets that a lot. People always say like between Jada Pinkett and Lisa
Carrie.
Ray.
Oh, yeah. I thought Kerry Washington. I'm like, she's a mixture of Jada Pinkett and a little bit of Kerry Washington. Not this new entanglement Jada. That ain't the Jada we talking about. I'm talking about yeah, but she's beautiful. Like all the women on that show, like the whole cast is beautiful. I'm just keep it real, and I love seeing it. So I'm proud of you, my dog.
Yes,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's coming along. Definitely thanks for rocking in there. And like I said, this season, and then we're on WeTV, so everybody can watch the first season now on every Thursday night.
Nice.
Comes on at 11, and they play it. On WeTV, they play the same thing back to back. So they played it all through the night last Thursday. So I'm assuming that's how it's going to be for the next couple of weeks. And then
you said y'all having a live watch party for the June 2nd one.
The screening, with the premiere party is tomorrow night in Hollywood. So it's like most of the cast, the crew, like some local entertainment people or whatnot. Okay. And this is our first time having that, so I'm excited about that because the last time it was COVID. So
that shows is growing. That shows that the show
yeah.
is on. It's picking up steam, and you know there will be a season 3. I feel there's going to be a season 3 because I really
absolutely.
enjoy it. So
Yeah, you know, and like I said, it's a lot more stuff I'm working on. So I'm just kind of like in full throttle right now, and just kind of like building up like, you know, the whole empire in the way that I want, though, of quality stuff.
yeah.
Well,
But
I look forward to seeing you.
before we get out of here, if Uncle Jerome owe you a favor, send him this way.
Huh?
Just send him this way, because we are very big Snowfall fans around these parts.
I need you to get Louis.
I got it in my top 7 right now. Could possibly break my top 5 of all time.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm watching too. Snowfall. Like that's my other. You know what I mean? Like
Louis.
Snowfall. I love Snowfall. I love it. Love it. Love
Are
it.
y'all watching ATL? Atlanta?
Yep.
Yes.
Atlanta.
Yes.
What do y'all think about this season?
It's taking me on a ride.
It's
It's
interesting.
taking me on a ride.
It's art at its peak.
It's art. It's
Yeah.
definitely art.
It's very
Like,
interesting.
I feel
You know,
like
You may like it, you may not, but you got to respect the art of it.
Mhm.
right.
Because you never know where it's going.
You don't. And then I think a lot of it was like, because like every other episode is like the main
one-off.
cast.
Yeah.
And then the in between episodes are like little short stories of get out. Like
Right.
my Jordan Peele, I'm like, okay, this is where we going with this, you know. But it's interesting though, because I just like the way that he do whatever he wants. Like I think that's dope. Him and Issa, like they really push it and they go out there. So like for me, that's the goal. It's just kind of like, okay, let me get the basics down, and then I'm about to just
do it your way.
Do whatever I feel. Yep. Because like for season 3, I already got a whole nother like. They're gonna be like, what show is this again? Like, gotta roll with it. At that point, you already locked in.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Jason doesn't find love in season 2, so there will be a season 3.
Well, you know, season you know, it's always got to be a cliffhanger. But season 2 ends a lot different from season 1.
Okay.
You know, season 1 was kind of like, oh shit, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? But then like season 2, it's a gut. It's a gut. It hits the gut on this one. Like it's interesting. Like I feel like episode 6 is the best episode of the entire series.
Okay.
So far, like when I was watching episode 6, I was, you know, usually I'm watching from a critique because I created it, but like it was like I fell into the story, and I got the same feedback from network, from the editors, everyone across the board when they saw that episode. So like, and then we have a new director on that episode. One of my producers, Deshawn, she had directed a short film, and I wanted her to get the opportunity to direct this time. And she killed it. Like literally, when people see it her directing, they're gonna be like,
"I don't want to share."
Huh?
You know? And I said that's honorable because a lot of people don't want to share those opportunities. You're giving her a chance to get her feet wet.
Oh yeah, definitely. And she's been with me since day one. Like when I started out, I went to a screening for it. Y'all ever heard of that show Giants on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's a digital series. They actually ended up winning a couple of Emmys. But I remember going to the screening and just listening to how James Bland said how he started. And he was like, look, and you know, Issa always talk about that too. It's like you network with the people that come up with you and make it happen. And I was like, Deshawn was already producing because she's like was a producer over at Unsung. So I was like, yeah. So both of my producers, they're EPs over at Unsung.
Wow.
So I was like, but they were looking to get over into scripted. So I was like, okay, we can go on this journey together. So I hit her up, and she was in the acting class with us as well, in Tasha's class. And I was like, you know, I was like, look,
network.
Huh?
That's a good network that you have. up in that
Yeah,
class.
like we joke about it all the time. Like we're gonna do a show on the class.
That's not a bad
That
idea.
jump is lethal. Like we used to take shots just to go to class. It was that intense. That class was intense because you never knew what you were gonna get hit with. Like it's just like, oh, here we go. But you know,
And
it's
how long has Tasha Smith been running this acting school?
a long time because like it was way before I got in there, and I got in there in 05.
Right.
05. So probably since like 2000 or something.
Okay.
And it's crazy because a lot of people like Lance Gross was in our class. He came up with us.
Wow.
It was a lot of people
That
that
class
came.
was gifted.
That class was very good.
It was like the young black Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? So eventually it's just like once people started getting their licks, then everybody just started kind of like rolling out.
Okay. That's a cool network to have, man. So
Hey,
go ahead.
no, I'm looking at the name of the episodes for season 2. I should have stayed my ass at home. You are my fucking spirit animal. It's like it gotta be the neck. You know what I'm saying? Like just
from the
watch it.
trailer, you'll see that line in we releasing a new trailer. So network,
Right.
the trailer that's out now was Network's trailer. But we did our own trailer.
Yeah.
The way I feel like it should hit.
Right.
And that's the ending caption on there. So you get to see that line.
Yeah.
And it's because those types of things resonate. Like last year.
This that bullshit.
So do you know this is that bullshit had over 10 million gifts?
Are you serious?
Wow.
10 million. The number 2 over AMC's whole, because we're under the AMC umbrella, over the whole AMC platform. And I didn't even know until I was in this marketing meeting like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, what?
That sticks out so much because you said it.
That's us.
A lot.
Right. Like, can I get paid from it though?
Right.
But like
that's it.
Only thing you missing is it's not I should have stayed my ass at home. I
black.
should have stayed my black ass at home.
It's black.
Okay. Because on here they don't got the black.
They just gotta edit it like that, but it's definitely I should stay my black ass at hhome.
this is about
it's
to be
a lot of
mess.
stuff like
I love
incorporating this thing. And it's this other show that I have in mind. I was talking to Brina about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to incorporate being at home into the full light, because like long as it's presented right, it can go over. Because at one point it was just like to be country, it was just kind of like a and then like and it started making country like the thing to be and stuff like that. Well, I feel like P Valley has done a great job with it. You know what I'm saying? You see how P Valley came in just so raw, and like it was just like
too long to bring back that second season. But
we got to
look, it's P Valley was they come back the 3rd. They come back next week right after us.
Okay.
And funny enough, like so right before my show and P Valley started, Brandy, the girl that played
I love her.
We had just did a short film together.
Oh,
and like we were in Atlanta at a festival. She was like, I just booked the show. And I was like, what kind of show did you? And then she was like, no, I just booked a show on Stars and I'm the lead. I'm like, what? Like out of the gate, fresh out of the gate. Like it was just crazy. And it just kind of like.
Yeah, I heard about it and it just caught my attention. So I kept watching and watching. I was like, okay, this show's taking me somewhere. So.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you like, what am I watching? Why am I watching it? But you can't stop watching it.
You can't stop watching.
Guilty.
In the paint.
In the paint. Let Brandy know I went and found her stunt double and liked her page, and now me and her are friends. Okay, when that bitch was
Brandy's a dancer.
Like that girl was upside down and clap her feet like that on that pole.
Yeah.
She would have had my whole check, y'all.
P Valley started like this trend of people trying to make these behind the scene dancer stories. Because I think it was another show that came on another channel, and like some other
Beyond the Pole or something
like that. So it's a lot of shows that came after that. So they started a little trend.
Yeah, like in Stars, they pushing it. Power. Did y'all watch Billions?
I did not, but I heard Billions was good.
It did. Towards the end, it fell off.
That's what I heard too.
But Billions was
That's
good.
what I heard.
Like,
but I want to start that show. We Own This City. I think it's on HBO now, Showtime now. About the cops in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
I think I'm gonna start that soon.
Like a lot of the people from The Wire.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I think I'm gonna start that soon because I'm hearing pretty good things about it. So
I'm gonna check that out.
I'm gonna start that soon. So
before we go, can I say one thing before we go? I haven't seen this man since he graduated high school. What did you graduate? 2000 or 99?
Nope, 99.
99.
My bad. Haven't seen.
Don't take our shine from 99.
Okay, look, y'all look good. God damn it, you be proud of that.
2099.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to put that out there, but I have not seen you since you graduated. Don't y'all know?
No, I did. We saw each other. No, I saw you.
That's what I'm about to say. Saw him in Vegas. Random.
Yeah.
All the fucking people in the world in Vegas. I end up in Vegas and passing by, and I was like, that motherfucker looked familiar. And then he stopped and looked at me. Yo, Hemingway. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy, just to see you from Hemingway to that moment, because that had to be in 2014 to now where you're at now. Your star is only going to get higher, brother. Keep shining. Love to see it. We need to see it, and just to see our stories on the screen, and we know where it's coming from. Like, you doing the Lord's work, sir. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I would tell you to tell that story about who you saw at the BT Awards, but I'm not even gonna do that. Who you ran into with a briefcase at the BT Award?
Oh my God! Yeah, I ain't gonna say because they might be watching. I'm
right.
like,
So we gonna do that.
But with a briefcase?
Listen, that's one I got to tell y'all off the record. When Trell told me this story,
oh my God, it's funny. Like, when you see people from home, it's just. I ran into Randolph in church, like one day.
White
in Atlanta,
in LA. Like,
years
ago. And it was funny because when he called my name, and you know how you just hear somebody call your name, and I'm like, they from Hemingway. Like, I don't know, like immediately. Yeah, he was out there studying. I think he was doing some program out there in school out there. Yeah.
Last time I saw him was at a Nas concert.
Oh wow, that's random too.
Like, hey, he well-rounded. Randolph.
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
Randolph?
Yes, I saw him at a Nas concert. I think the St. Lunatics opened up, and I saw somebody Jonathan Preston. Somebody randomly to my left, and I'm like, yo, I know that dude.
I tell you, we're everywhere.
Amen.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, I went to New Orleans and I had to be dodging people like, oh, they here too?
Okay.
So yeah, man.
This is dope though. Do y'all ever do anything like in like the show on the road live or anything like that?
We would.
We have, and we will. Hey, y'all pull-up game is.
We did a 50th episode. We did a 50th episode here at the crib, and it was red
carpet. Go watch our live shows. And like Doe said, our pull-up game is almost as better than his pull-out game. Okay? Because we coming in there. It's impeccable. Okay.
Nah, this is dope though. Yeah,
we definitely hit the road if need be. You know, we just been grinding something that came out of hobby, us being bored. Like I said, I was bored. I hit those two up. I know they watched a lot of shows. I'm like, yo, we watching a lot of shows in this quarantine. And I always see on their timeline them talking about a show that I watch, or I'm talking about a show and we comment. Right. I just hit them behind the scenes like, yo, let's just see where this goes. And we've been rocking ever since. So just started that. So but we definitely will hit the road if need be.
Yeah, the shows is that's a whole market within itself, like especially on the YouTube reviews and stuff.
This is my third one, man. I'm working. This my third show. I do my podcast and a cooking show. So
that's right.
So
that's what's up.
Now that I enjoy doing it, just trying to find a way to expand and grow. So that's pretty much it. So.
Dope. Yeah, I'm trying to like put together something. Like, I'm just still brainstorming, trying to do something like back at home. for the younger kids or whatnot, like
Sure.
you said earlier, pretty much as far as like changing the way of thinking on what you can achieve. And I know a lot of times we don't get to see a lot at home, and it's like the energy sometimes can be really
negative.
Very.
And I've been thinking about it a minute. I actually went to Hemingway High, and I went to visit Miss Pinckney. And she mentioned about like trying to incorporate something to talk to them or whatever, the kids. And it's just different, like just sitting there, and I was just trying to talk to them, and I'm like, wow.
They zoned out.
It's a different breed, It's a different breed. So
Kodak Black, Super Gremlins. Y'all go ahead and play around with it. I'm gonna say it.
It's talent. It's talent. It just has to be like guided.
Yeah.
That's
honestly, you need to think about doing a documentary. We've been talking about doing a documentary on the dynasty of Hemingway Tigers and just how many of our amazing athletes didn't have the backing that didn't allow them to go further than they should have went.
Or could you point us in the direction on how to put this together? Because
it needs to be told.
But you speaking on these kids, and I just changed positions in coaching at Northwestern High School. First day meeting these kids, the first thing one dude said, "Man, I think I can dunk on you." Like, what? like we hear you. Like, this is what you say to me as you first meet me? Like, come on, dude. So it's like you said, it's a different breed of kids.
It's different. Like, like just talking to them, and I'm like, the way that they think though, but then it's of course we know that it's deeper than stemming from home, of course. But it was just like I was like, wow. Like it's even I could see where someone who would want to do well couldn't because of what's around them in the scenario.
Right.
But just something, I'm just thinking of something like just exposing them to different things, like different opportunities to getting them to think differently for somebody who would possibly be interested in getting in.
We got to get them out of there.
Entertainment field.
We got to get them out of there so they can see something different
than what they see, because you can't see past
what's there.
That part.
State line.
That part.
Yeah. And it's just like, because I remember I was talking to them, but it was just kind of like everybody had every excuse to why they couldn't do it, or it's just like
like I said, these kids are different now, and you got to think about it. They are growing up in an age that we knew nothing about. Everything is microwavable access to them. It's too much fucking access. Like, these young kids today would never know the panic of remembering where the porno was at that you stole from your mom and daddy, so you can rewind it back to
That's your example. That's your example.
Saying, bro, you had to remember exactly where the porno was at, because I'm gonna watch it and I gotta make sure
they'll never know about waiting for your favorite song to come on the radio so you can record it over.
Bam.
And be one time.
They have the options that we didn't.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, you can literally go and do a video right quick and it can just go viral.
Right.
Like back when we were growing up, it's like you had to be in the city where stuff is happening.
New York, LA, Miami.
Like, you didn't have to like now you can do anything anywhere. And the power of the computer and stuff like that. So it's just like utilizing that. And it's just like, so they really don't have an excuse.
They don't. They don't. But they'll find a way. They'll find a way to make an excuse. They'll find a way to make
too much to process at once for such young minds. That's all.
That's the thing. You looking at.
Go ahead.
You look at their role models, like somebody like Bad Barbie, whoever the fuck that little girl is. She's making millions of dollars, and all this bitch did was say, "Catch me outside, Dr. Phil." You understand what I'm saying?
Ain't disrespect.
So,
was she like 50 mil?
This bitch balling.
Off OnlyFans.
Catch me outside. How about that?
My thing is, if you're gonna do it, at least make money off of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them just doing it and ain't making no money, just being stupid for no reason.
Right.
There's so many avenues. But
Right. Like if you're gonna be dumb, be a smart dummy.
be dumb.
A rich dummy.
Right.
Yeah, rich dummy. So because there's a lot of them.
Like Gorilla Glue wig dummy. Like this bitch. Okay.
Hey man,
it's getting late.
I hate to use the word clout chasing, but there's a lot of it out there. It's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely, you should definitely do something back home. And like if you, like Rose said, if you need anything from us,
I'll definitely let y'all know for sure.
Anything going on, you got anything going on, and you want us to come down there and just watch y'all work, we'll do that. Because hey, ain't no problem with me.
If y'all need some extras.
Look, we always need extras.
You need a waiter.
Everybody think extras are nice until they get to that set, and then they looking at you like, so how much longer we gonna be here?
Right.
Like, yeah.
A waiter, a coach.
When I first got to LA and I did some extra work, and I was like, yeah, nah.
Money and time ain't adding up.
Like you be there 12 hours cold. Just
12 hours.
Music videos like that, and I was like,
yeah.
Look, I was in a football movie, and they paid us $100 a day, 12 hours, and we got free food. That was it. But you in a football stands, cold as a motherfucker now. And you got to sit out there all excited. This was when I was at Laney High School. This was had been 2000. But
because they were just looking for people in Atlanta. That's why I was asking.
No, it wasn't radio. It was a made-for-TV movie, but it was supposed to get picked up, but apparently it didn't get picked up. But they paid me to be the trainer. But here go my dumb ass actually really working. I'm running through a timeout. He trying to have an emotional scene about 1%. Just water, cut. Goddamn. Okay. Okay, I forgot that I'm just supposed to be holding the bottles. I'm actually thinking I'm fucking working, y'all. But yeah, that extra work is a lot. It's a lot for the money that they're giving.
It is. People get tired really quick.
But yeah, like you said, man, if you ever need us to come down there and do anything or any ideas you want to run by or we can run by you, that works too. So
absolutely,
we're just happy to see you out there doing your thing and
absolutely.
Come on, man. We know you busy. Thank you for coming on. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I definitely, as soon as I was like, yeah, but that's like a no-brainer. I was glad to do it. I was just trying to figure out with this crazy schedule right now. But we made it happen.
It actually worked out pretty perfect today because I went down and looked at the new office in the gym today and came right back home and set up. So
yeah. I'm excited for season 2. That's all I'm waiting on. Now I'm mad because they're short episodes. I need them longer, and I need more episodes. Trell.
Well, look, last season we were at 23 to 25 minutes or something around there, and we like 30 minutes for sure. Like, so it's tried to creep it up a little bit more to get because when you add the extra 5 minutes, technically, I guess it could be an extra episode.
Go to All Black. Go to we. Right. We want more episodes.
Listen,
more longer
and
episodes.
So that's the biggest.
Use your voice, or you keep
how can our fans follow you? Like, what are your handles? Your social media handles?
Oh, I'm Trell Woodberry on all handles. TrellWoodberry on all handles. Straightforward and
simple and elegant.
The show page is FTLOJ series on Instagram.
Okay.
So everybody try to watch it a couple of times. If you ain't watching it, just play it. The numbers can run up. And then and then also We TV, like I said, Thursday nights we on We TV as well.
Yes.
First season.
Absolutely. Well, look, man, we appreciate you coming on. This was amazing.
This
definitely appreciate
it. Go watch the show, people. Go watch the show.
Right. Watch it ASAP.
Yes,
run
please.
Those numbers up.
If you haven't seen the first season, go watch it because it's definitely something worth watching. So we appreciate
absolutely
you coming on. Like you said, if you need anything from us, let us know.
I will do that for sure.
And if you got any shows that you watch and you think are good, just hit me in the inbox, text me, do something.
Hey, I will. Look, because every week I got a new show. Oh, Who Killed Sarah?
Rose was on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard y'all was
told
mad
you.
about that.
I'm on all of them.
Okay.
I
Now
need you to go watch Border.
No, Fred.
Don't,
No.
And the
Don't.
special. The
Don't.
special and
watch
Border.
the special.
Where's
Special,
that?
hey,
The special's on Amazon Prime. It's a
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
When
that
you hit
other
it,
one,
you
he's
know,
not even supposed to be mentioning it because it's against the rules.
we had the director of the special on a couple months back, and he's supposed to come back because he got another movie coming out. But
That
you,
other one that she was talking
Watch that episode too. That was
Danita,
funny
don't you give it away. Don't you
Danita,
give it away.
tell them, Danita. They be
No,
hating on my picks.
Yeah,
No.
I got look, I'm telling you, that's what I do. Like I sit there and binge all day.
Yeah, I wish I could, but I'm trying to get into it now that I work from home. I definitely get more time to watch. So
I tell myself it's
Absolutely.
research, it's work.
see, you can do that. You
Absolutely.
can do that.
Okay.
You study. That's study.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Research like my man,
Absolutely.
the therapist.
Right. Research.
Hey, before we go, I'm getting like a Max and Kyle vibe from the waitress and the therapist. Is any of that going to go down?
Yeah, because you saw what happened at the end of
Yes.
season 1.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
You can feel that tension though, like towards like episode 4 or 5. You're like,
Right.
He willing to risk his own relationship to go be nosy.
Look, okay.
Right. He was just all
Okay.
into that. It's like, why are you even like
Your girl leaving and you like, I gotta go use the bathroom and go be nosy. Like, what? So
and he plays it so well. Like it's just like
yes.
Yeah.
They are very good actors. Everybody
wait till you see this season. And then it's weird because like when we left the show, it just all started taking place in real life. Like with like literally when we were together like 24/7, like until I moved.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like it just because we got so used to being around each other, you know, like
it's
that's
the norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was comfortable. I'm excited to watch. I'm ready to watch.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what y'all got to say at the y'all see these.
Oh, we definitely
Now, are they letting all of them go, or do we have to wait?
No, only one. I wish only one a week.
Damn, I
well,
like that shit.
when 6 goes off, we might be.
We will do a review.
Yeah, like I would love to do that recap to see what y'all thoughts are after seeing where we go. Where we go this season.
We're gonna pencil you in for that, and we definitely got it. Listen, people, All Black Network is $6. Y'all got $6.
Yep.
Y'all got $6.
And we giving a free trial for like
7 days free trial. I'm a free trial king. I just watched Walking Dead season 11 in 4 days and just canceled the other day.
Right. Yeah.
You're terrible, man.
I already used my free trial, so I got to pay the 6. So if I can pay the 6, I can pay the 6. So
yeah, no, it's very inexpensive, and it's a lot of new content that's coming on. Like this year is a lot of new shows that's coming on All Black. That's
I see
really
Brett
good
and
and
her
good
wife
quality.
got a show on there. So
who?
The Brett and her wife.
Oh yeah, that Brett and Judy.
Yeah,
Brett loves Judy. Yeah.
There's like a new show Megan Good is producing on there called A La Carte.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's kind of like a younger version of our show. And it started 3 weeks ago, so they're on it. I think they're going towards their 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another show called Sin Help that's coming with the guy that's Issa Rae's little brother on Insecure.
Yes.
So him and actually Eamon is in there too. Uncle Jerome.
Really?
Yeah. So it's some shows that the network is definitely picking up its content and it's becoming way more relevant.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So stream it, watch it, enjoy it. Hope you guys really enjoyed this episode because I really did.
Absolutely.
To talk about it. So Pam said she love A La Carte. I'm gonna have to go check it out. So
I gotta check it out.
Just give me time to go catch up. So we appreciate you coming on. We know you're busy. We know you're gonna be busy these next couple of days because seeing interviews and people gonna be calling, requesting. I know you gotta write, you gotta pitch, you gotta do this. So
yeah,
we proud of you. Hemaway Zone.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time out, coming with us, taking this ride with us, and supporting us, man. Because we just a new podcast trying to start and never know where it takes us. So we just trying to
Hey, definitely.
also, so.
Oh, you gonna see us? You gonna see?
We doing weekly reviews.
Do that.
Catch us on Sunday. And
Sunday at 7 or 8.
Sunday at 8.
At 8.
Yeah,
you know, we don't
and see what y'all thinking.
Look, we don't sugarcoat shit around here.
Listen,
and we damn sure ain't sugarcoating shit for you. So
it's a lot to talk about. Trust me.
Listen, look, this is how long we went for talking about the first season. So I know.
Yeah, like this almost was a 2-hour show. Are these people ready to go to bed, y'all? We sorry, Trell.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm on the West Coast, so it's 5:47 over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you officially in Atlanta now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm back and forth for work, but I'm based in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, like I say, if you ever need us to travel, pull up, just let us know and we there, man.
Definitely.
Appreciate you guys sticking on.
You have a good night.
Checking us out. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed. Watch the show, stream the show. And we'll catch y'all Sunday. Y'all regulars, we'll catch y'all Sunday. So
absolutely.
Thanks to our special guest Trell, and y'all have a great night. Peace.
All right, my guys.
Rose, where the music at?
She ain't got
it. Boom, boom, Yo, I was trying to hook it up. My shit ain't working, but I'll have it by Sunday. But hey, love y'all guys. Y'all have a blessed week.
Yes.
Congratulations again, Trell.
Yes. All right, appreciate it.
All right, y'all.
Peace.